Have you ever wanted to build a portfolio as a developer or an up-and-coming developer that could land you a job and actually give you a very high chance of doing so? You've probably seen a lot of videos on portfolios, or at least their thumbnails popping up and lots of people doing them. This one is going to be different, and this one is going to teach you a lot of new things you never knew existed. This portfolio is going to have it all. It's going to be powered by NextJS. You're going to have server-side rendering along with the power of TypeScript. You're also going to have Tailwind CSS for your styling. You're going to have a content management system. You're going to have React stories so you can actually see every single one of your components in a playground, play with it, test it, tweak it, and change it, and do whatever you want. You're going to have image optimization that comes out of the box. You're going to have full SEO capabilities. You're going to have an admin interface, and you're going to have a full backend where all this data is stored. It's going to blow your mind how simple this app is going to be, and you're going to have this app up and running in maybe 20 to 30 minutes or less. I promise you that. This is one of the best and most creative solutions I've ever seen to this. Nobody's ever talking about it, and I really want to show you how to do this with Next. Let's go. Now, if you want to watch this, the first price you have to pay, it's like a toll road. Smash that like button. Hit that like button, turn it white. That will lift up the doors to see the rest of the video. No, I'm just kidding. You can like it or not like it. I love your beautiful face anyway. With that said, here's what I want you to do if you want to code this along with me. Grab that REPL, fork it. Why? Because we're going to give you all the assets, the images, and everything that you'll need access to. And it'll also set up Next.js out of the box for you. So just make sure, go in the description, click that REPL link. It's going to say join.repl.com/cp-portfolio. Click that, fork it, you'll get all the assets, and then you can actually code along with me right in your browser. And it has JavaScript and Next.js, and everything is powered by Replit. So let's go. All right, once you hit that link, it's gonna bring you to this page right over here. Just make sure you hit fork. And once you hit fork, it will actually allow you to edit this code and do whatever you want with it. So let's hit fork right now. All right, now that we've forked this, okay, you can see it says fork this, blah, blah, and then it says -1 at the end, okay, which means now I should be able to write my own code in here if I want. Perfect. You should also have this assets file, and this assets file will have some images that we will need for this portfolio and stuff like that, okay? Now let's just walk through this portfolio together. So boom, you go in, Rafik Kazi, I'm a full stack developer. I like to build amazing UI UX experiences, right? You got the testimonial segment right here, which looks really slick and powerful. Introduction to who you are. This will be very important if you're trying to represent yourself as a developer. You want to tell them who you are. You want to tell them about a little bit of your personal life as well. I only have one sentence here, so it's not too much, right? And then I go, hey, here are my preferred weapons of choice. These are the things that I like to code with, whatever. So now they instantly know about you. You can click my GitHub, takes you there. So we're just going to do a walkthrough and an overview of all of this and how this actually is working. Now, keep in mind, all of this is Next, TypeScript, there's server-side rendering, which is why it's so fast. This is currently deployed online already on Digitalocean, so you'll learn how to do that as well. And I'm going to show you one last part, which is going to blow your freaking mind. Okay, so we're going to show you that. Now, I can go here and it says, hey, here's my coding projects, and it highlights all your coding projects. And the reason I wanted to make it like this is so you could show off what stack or tech you're using for this, along with a description of your project and what your project actually was. And then you can link them to the demo so they can actually click and then go ahead and just view your app, or they can hit the GitHub repo and it'll take them to the repo. Because it's very important, because if somebody's coming to your thing, they want to be able to do both, and view demo is a more important one. Here's another app that they could view demo or like check out the repo. Here's another app that they could check out or repo. And this is the portfolio you're going to be ending with after this tutorial is done. It'll walk you through my experience section for anybody that's viewing it. So it'll walk through where did you work, how long did you work, walk through that. And it's very simple and sleek. That's what I love about it. And then here we also have your testimonial section. So this is where you're going to put your testimonial section. And then lastly, a call to action. So this part is very important for a call to action, right? My LinkedIn, hey, want me to build stuff for you. Now, another cool part about this portfolio is it is 100% mobile friendly. So not all tutorials out there are mobile friendly, but this one is. So if you view it on your phone, it looks gorgeous, and it doesn't matter how small you make it or how large you make it. It knows exactly what to do. And here's the best part. You can just edit it. Look at that. I can just point and click and edit. I can just point and click and edit. Look at that. So how the heck am I doing that? This, again, this is a Next app. This is not Wix. This is not Squarespace. I'm point and clicking and updating my app. I can update the image, right? All of this, update any of these images. So how do you build an app that can do this? And how do you build a portfolio that can do this? This is going to be super impressive, not only for yourself and you're going to enjoy it, but for anybody that you actually show this to. So I'm excited for you. But with that said, let's actually jump in and start coding this bad boy up. Now I want to show you a little bit more of the demo of this, right? So it's so easy to add things to this. I just hit this plus button right over here and boom, I can add whichever new section I want. I can add this. If I wanted this to go up, I can move this section up. I can start writing in here. If I want to remove a button, I can remove it. If I want to change the text of the button, I can change it. I can make it go full width. Now, here's another cool part. In React, you have these stories, right? React Stories is this very popular library a lot of people use. You also get that built in. So take a look at this, right? All of these units, there's story right there. And you can see your components by themselves. And again, this is all React. This is not anything else. You can see these components right over here. Okay, and then these components let you add things or remove things. If I want to add a feature, do whatever I want. So this playground lets you play with your components. You can custom code them up. Some of them already come, a lot of these actually come built in, and I'll show you how these come built in. And then some of these you could build yourself, like your custom ones. And this is super easy to actually do as well. So this is unbelievable. I wish somebody had told me about a resource like this when I was building my applications, because front end, it makes your life so simple. You could still code as much as you want custom, and you could use all the power of React and Next and use APIs and integrate a database and all of that. But content management just being baked in and being given to you out of the box is very, very powerful. So now let's go ahead and code this up. All right, so we're going to have you sign up for DigitalOcean, and here's what you want to do. You want to click the link that I have in the description below, or you could just go to it, and it's try.digitalocean.com/cleverprogrammer. They've created a special landing page just for us. So if you sign up from here, you're actually going to get $100 of credit for 60 days, and it's going to be a free trial. So all you're going to do here is just pop in your email, okay? Or just hit one of these, sign up with Google or GitHub, okay? And again, it's a $100 special. So that means that when you're building this app, you get to build it with me for free. And then it should bring you to this page over here, checking for bots. Apparently I'm not a bot. So just take a look at this, right? This is just to verify that you're an actual real person. So just go ahead and add a card. Okay, you could do it with Google Pay or whichever one. Since I have some of my information Google Pay, I'll just do it with Google Pay. All right, so I just went ahead and added a card manually, and now we're on this registration page. Cool, and we don't really need to do anything here. We could click deploy a web application, okay? And boom, we'll just click that. All right, it should bring us into this, and you could just leave this as is. We don't need to touch this anymore until the very, very end, okay? That's what we're gonna be deploying. So I'm just gonna go all the way back to where we were starting to code. Now, in order to get started, one of the first things that we'll actually have to do is we'll have to install a couple of libraries, okay? So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, now the first thing we'll have to do is we'll have to get Next set up, and we'll have to get this amazing library that actually does all of the heavy lifting for us. It's called React Bricks. So let's go to React Bricks and let's get that set up, okay? This is mind-blowing. React Bricks is actually what allows for visual content editing, and it's just an amazing piece of software that I've discovered, and over 2,500 companies are using it. So you can see it's pretty stable, and a lot of companies are using it. Now, to install it, it's this easy, all right? That easy. So we're just gonna copy that, npx create React Bricks app. So let's copy that. Let's go back to our command line. And in our shell, I'm just going to go ahead and paste that. All right, now let's go ahead and hit enter. Now it's starting to ask us some questions. Do you want to proceed? Yes, we want to proceed. All right. Now, as the installation process continues, is going to install Next. This is going to install Tailwind CSS. This is going to get TypeScript set up and ready to go. This will have everything all in place. The code that it will generate will also come with server-side rendering. So again, all of the heavy lifting is already done. This is amazing. Now, if you get this error right here, which is, hey, please tell me who you are, you could simply just copy this line right here, paste it. I'm going to hide myself real quick. And you could paste that line that we copied from here. And then we're just going to put our email in quotes like this. So we'll just say like that and copy this other line as well with the username, paste it. And we will put our name like this. Okay, let's hit enter. And now let's try installing React Bricks again. So I'm going to hit install. And it says, do you already have a React Bricks account? We're just going to go ahead and say no, that we don't. Okay, so I'll write an N. You can create an account before this. That's totally up to you. Okay, so if you don't have an account, this is not going to go forward. Okay, so make sure that you go ahead and create an account. So I already have an account. Okay, so on React Bricks, all you have to do is go here, try for free. Doesn't ask you for a credit card or anything, right? Put in a password. I'll just say fake. I've already created an account already with them, so I don't need to create one from scratch. And then there you go. All right, this will actually bring you right in. Okay, so I have an account with them already. So I'm going to go ahead and run that command again, npx create React Bricks app. And I'm going to say, yes, I do have an account. So I'm simply just going to hit enter here. It's going to say, please enter your React Bricks account email. So I will enter that email just like that. It will ask me for the password. Hopefully I remember the password. Fingers crossed. Boom, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and create a new app. Okay, and it's going to say, hey, what's the app name? And I'll say Portfolio YouTube app. Okay, so that's going to be the app name. Pick the default package name as well. So I'm just going to hit enter for the package name. So let's hit enter and wait. Okay, folder name. Yep, just pick the default folder name. And then we don't need to start with an empty project. You could if you want. We want to start with a website and a blog with Tailwind. So it already comes with stuff. It says, hey, which framework do you want? We want to go ahead and choose Next as our framework. So I'm going to go ahead and hit enter on that. And let's see what happens. Okay, is it loading? Yep. And then it goes, do you want to load default content? We'll just say yes, load default content. And now it's just going to take some time and it's going to download the starter package. It's going to set up all the configurations. It will set up all the app credentials for you. It will install all the dependencies and it will set up even a Git repo for you that you could use. So now it's going to go ahead and do those things. And as soon as it's done, we're going to continue making progress on this app. Now, if this is taking a little bit or a couple of minutes to install, don't worry. There are a couple of things that we'll need to install and set up as dependencies. So don't freak out, nothing to worry about. Just let it take its time. And then once it's set up, you're going to be ready to go. All right, there we go. So now our app has completely finished installing. It's ready to go. So I'm going to leave myself out of it or just move myself up a little bit so you can see my commands that I'm going to be writing. But all we need to do here is simply go ahead and do CD. And we need to go, this was the folder that this app installing React Bricks created, Portfolio YT app. And if I go inside of this, it has set me up with all of these files. Okay, this is the entire structure it's set me up. Now, I need to CD into that and then go ahead and do yarn dev. So let's CD into Portfolio app and then let's go ahead and do yarn dev and let's see what we get. So I've done yarn dev. It looks like something is opening up. Fingers crossed. And I'm going to hit this URL right over here so it can open this in a new tab. Okay. So once the app is loaded, it'll show up there. All right. So if you get this error right here, this is totally normal. It's just saying, hey, you don't have a home page. So we're going to go ahead and click edit content, and edit content should bring you to this page that says /admin at the end of it. Okay. And then once you're there, we can go ahead and fix this problem. It'll bring you to this page. So go ahead and sign in. I'm going to put in all my information and I'm going to hit login. All right. Now that I've logged in, it should bring me to this page right here. Okay. And all I have to do here is create a new page right there. Click and just call it home. And I can just hit this tick mark right here. Okay. And that's it. That should do the trick. And now if I zoom out just a little bit, if I click that toggle, you can see it's allowing me to add my first block. And there you go. This is a perfect place to start for us. Now, before we keep coding this app up, right? This is our editor right here. This is where we're at. If I refresh this, you're going to see that error is now gone. Okay. So this is the editor version. If you want to get a preview link and see what your app looks like, you could do that too. Or just grab this URL right here, right? Or for example, just click here and that should just open it. So one tab, you should have your actual app. And the second tab, you should have the actual editor version where you can actually edit. So I like that workflow. Now, going back to this code here, again, just kind of understanding how this works. React Bricks has something called the concept of bricks. And in bricks, you can actually make your own custom component. So here's an example of your own custom component, which is called myherounit.tsx. All right. And I'll show you what it looks like. So if I go in here and I hit playground, inside of playground, when I scroll down over here, you can see there are all these components right here already made, like how the React Stories library helps you do. And if I hit my custom hero unit, that's the custom hero unit that you have. And you can actually even change it right here. And it changes the code that you can see at the bottom. So this allows you to play with your component that you've created. So you could create your own components, or you could use the components that the React Bricks UI library, they have a UI library. It's almost like a marketplace where they're pushing all their components and you're just getting access to a lot of these built-in components that are very nice and already made for you. Okay, so perfect. So I'm going to leave this one in playground. So the first one is going to be here. The second one is going to be in the admin. Third one is going to, I'll just leave it in playground so we can check out different components. Now, let's start working on this. Okay, so I'm going to hit autosave. So I have autosave enabled. And that way when I'm working, I won't forget to save anything. Okay, and we'll start off with a hero unit. And if you hover over and leave it for a second, it'll even show you what those components are going to look like once you add them. So we're going to start with the hero unit. And here, what we're going to do is I'm just going to say, let's go back. Okay, I'm going to say, hi, my name is, and I'm going to make it gray. And then here, we're going to go ahead and say your actual name. So Rafik Kazi is my name. You could put your name here, right? And then for the color, we're going to give it a ocean gradient. So that was nice. And they make it really easy. Now I'm just going to say I am a full stack dev. Okay. And then for the copy, I'm just going to go ahead and write my copy here. I'm going to say I like to build amazing UI/UX experience for humans. Put a little emoji. And currently I'm focused on empowering people to learn how to code and change their future. Perfect. We'll add a little call to action. So I'll hover over this and I'll remove this one. And for this one, I'll just say, do you want to work with me? Okay. And then we can actually pop in a LinkedIn URL. So I'll hide myself here so you could see, and I could pop in a LinkedIn URL right there. So that way, when they click it, it'll take them to my linked. All right, let's bring myself back. And I don't even really need to hit save on this auto saving, but you could hit save anyway. And now let's go to our home one, right? The one that's like live and currently working. So let's refresh and let's see if there are any changes or anything that has actually happened yet. Boom, look at that. How fast was that? We just did it. We point and clicked, came here, and this is on the, you know, quote unquote, the deployed version or the version that will be deployed, and it's already up and running. It's that fast. Okay. Now there are a couple of things that I want to change. Like for example, we don't want the header, and we will not even really need the footer for our portfolio. So let's go ahead and take care of that. So I'm going to go ahead inside of components. Let's go inside of layout. And inside of layout, let's get rid of footer and let's get rid of header. And if we go back to our app, it'll update shortly, but we won't have the footer or the header anymore. Boom, there you go. The footer and header is completely gone. And if I click this link, it does take me to the LinkedIn, my LinkedIn. You could have people go wherever you want. If you don't want it to be LinkedIn, you could have it be something else. It's totally up to you. Now, what I want to do is I want to make this fully dark theme. So what we're going to do is there's a little hack that we could do that's actually really cool, and it will force it to actually be a dark theme. So let's go inside of our pages right over here. So click pages, and then inside of our pages, we're going to create a new page actually. So let's just go ahead and close our blog, and let's close our admin. So our pages just looks like this. Click on pages, and we're going to create a new page in here, and it's going to be underscore document.txt. It's very important you actually name it like that, because there's a special little hack that we're pulling off in NextJS to do this. Okay. Now here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say import, and we'll do HTML with the capital H. Okay. So this is another gotcha. Head with a capital H as well. Main. Okay. And we're going to get NextScript just like this. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and say from next/document. Now, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say export default function, and this function is going to be called document. Okay. And then we're going to return, and I will say HTML. And then inside of this HTML, we're going to say class name dark. Okay, this is the trick that allows us to make the whole thing dark. Just leave head empty for now, and then we'll go body, and inside of our body we'll put our main tag, and it's self-closing, and we will put our NextScript tag, and this will also be self-closing tag, and that's really it. Now once we do that, should take care of making our app dark mode enabled. All right, there we go. So let's take a look. Boom, dark theme is enabled, and it looks way better already in the dark theme. Now, just keep in mind, if some of this stuff doesn't load right away, it's okay. This takes a while. So just make sure you refresh, or you can kill the server and start it again, like yarn Control-C to kill the server, and then yarn dev to start it again. And then just keep going back and refreshing until it's up and running. So we got our first brick right here, and it's working. Now let's go back to our editor. So again, remember, even if you don't have the header, you can still go back to edit mode by just simply going /admin here and /editor, and it'll bring you to the editor. Okay, that's it. It's just a URL. So now here, okay, and I just enabled, this is just for us to see, okay, what it looks like in different colors. So we're just going to click this and stay in this one. Now, what we want to do is, the next thing we want to do is we want to add, okay, if we look at our final version looks like this, right? So we want to add this section over here. Now you can use this section, and you can change the logos to the companies that you've worked with, and I think that would look fine. Okay, that would look good. So now click plus here, and then we're just going to choose customers. And once you choose customers, it's going to bring that there. Okay, so that's good. That's what we want. Now, if you want the color to be the same, you could lay out and make it black, okay, or you can make it stand out. Up to you. I just like it very subtle like this. I just like leaving it at this. Okay. The next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to add this about me section right underneath us, right underneath this. So let's hit that plus. And for that about me section, actually, we can actually just use another hero unit for that, or we can actually use a text and image. So click text and image. And then in the image, what I actually want to do is go ahead and move the image to the left. So just click left. Okay. And then image on top on mobile. So that's really helpful. We're going to add shadow, and we're going to click this right over here. And what that will allow us to do is add rounded corners to the image. So it'll make the image look really nice instead of, you know, like a square looking thing, which doesn't look that pleasant to look at. Perfect. Now, for the image, where are we going to get these assets? Remember, we gave you all of these assets right over here. Okay. So you can pull these assets out from here. You could download them, right? You could just hit download on this. So right now, the image that we need access to is my face, Kazi face. So let's go ahead and hit download. So we got that JPEG. And now let's go back, and I'm just going to go ahead and change this image. And I'm going to go into my downloads, and I got Kazi, and I'm going to hit open, and that's it. And again, our SEO, see how easy that is? We get the uploader, and our SEO is right there as well. So let's go ahead and hit done, and let's see our guys show up. Perfect. So our guys showing up. You can see that there's rounded corners right there, which is really nice. Okay. And then I'm going to say, all right, let's select this. I'm going to say I'm Rafik Kazi. We'll highlight this. We'll click that, select that and highlight it. Okay. And then I'm going to put a coder thing here. And I'll say I've been coding for nearly 10 years. I'm a senior software developer who loves building full stack applications and learning new technologies. I've also helped millions of people learn how to code. Okay. You could put whatever you want. That's what I want to put here, what matters to me. And now I'll put a little fun fact. And if this ever happens, that's okay. Just hit X, fresh, and just come back. So that happens from time to time. Or if it ever says like REPL is unable to wake up, that means your REPL crashed here. Okay, so just go ahead and CD into that folder, portfolio app, and then just hit yarn devs. Make sure that you CD first, and then you hit yarn dev. Okay, not a big deal. Once that gets up and running, we'll be back in the editor and we'll fix any of our problems that we faced. All right, now we're back in the editor. So let's go back here, and I'll put a bulldog emoji, or dog rather, dog emoji, and I'll hit enter. Okay. And then I'll say when I'm not coding, I am the proud father of a baby bulldog. She's 2 years old, 2 cats, and a bunny. Okay. Now onto the coding part. Okay. My preferred weapons of choice, and I'll put this guy right here. And then to get these guys, watch how easy it is. Okay. So I go back here and just simply click feature. All right. So I'm going to click feature 4 times. Let's go like this, and let's make them all blue. Okay. And then I'll say JavaScript node. We'll go right there and say NextJS/React Redux/context. And then for this, I'm going to say Firebase. And I've actually been meaning to check out Supabase as well. So let's go Firebase/Supabase. All right. So now the About Me section is actually done, and it was that fast. Let's add that divider in now. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and add that divider in. So we'll hit that plus sign at the bottom. And then let's go hit horizontal rule. We're done with that. I'm going to type in my coding project. So let's go back here. All right. We're going to choose hero unit. We're going to remove this badge. We don't need that. We're going to select all of this and hit delete. We will take that button, delete it. We'll take this button and delete it. So delete both of the buttons. And we're going to change that copy. And it just says my coding projects. And then the type of text, it shows it to you here, but in your actual app, it won't show it anywhere. So let's go to our actual app and let's hit refresh, and let's see if all of these changes are in fact taking place. Or is it just we're doing stuff and nothing is really happening? So let's take a look. Boom, look at that. Our header, or our main hero, plus our little testimonial logos, social proof are showing up. The About Me section is showing up perfectly fine. Okay. And we now just need to add a little button underneath that. So let's go in here and watch how easy it is to add a button. Just simply click button. So we'll click button, and for this button, click it. And then we're going to say my GitHub. So this should link to my GitHub, and I'll make it an outline. So it's not solid, because solid basically says, hey, click. This is really important. This is not that important, so we'll make it like slightly outlined. And then we'll put the link to our GitHub repo, okay? And we'll say open a new event window. So just select that. Perfect. Let's hit save. That should look pretty good. And then let's get to work on adding our coding projects. Okay, so these are the projects and this is how I want them to show up. So I'm gonna go here, plus sign. This is crazy. This is, yes, it's point and click, but this is still React and Next, and you could customize it using Next and React and TypeScript. And underneath the hood is Next and TypeScript and React. And it's also, they're hosting the backend and CMS for you, and it's all in one. To me, this is mind blowing. Like, I really wish I knew this and I could use it for other things. But for building things like portfolio, you can update your portfolio so easily. Like everybody else who's just custom coding every single line of their portfolio, it's a nightmare for them to update it. People update their portfolio every 3 years or 4 years. If it's this easy, you can update it in a second. You do a new project, just add it in. Huge advantage. So let's go back to the final version. At final version, we have Web3 Exchange Tracker, and it's a text and an image. So we're gonna go ahead and choose text image, all right? And let's see where the image is. So image is on the left-hand side. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna click image. We're gonna choose left. We're gonna choose image shadow, image round corner, and image on top on mobile. So now already, again, this is mobile friendly, right? So if you were to scroll this, image already knows to be on top. And how long did this take us? Like almost not long at all, a few minutes, and we're good to go. All right, so let's go ahead and now add the project image, okay? Which project are we looking for? In this case, we're looking for the Coinbase one. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit download on my Coinbase project and click here. And then we're gonna add in our Coinbase project, all right? Let's say Coinbase app done. So done with the SEO right there, just enter. All right, and we'll leave it as large. And I'll say Web3 Exchange Tracker, okay, or whatever you wanna call it. And then for the copy, I'll just copy this and paste it so we don't have to write it all from scratch. Oh, that was weird. There we go. All right. And now underneath this, we're going to go ahead and link the GitHub repo. So I'll put a link and we'll say GitHub repo. So this is where I'll actually put the link to this repository. Okay. You could put the link to any of your GitHub repositories. So I'm going to go to the final version, click that, copy that GitHub link, come back to ours and bold it and link it and paste the GitHub link. So now the GitHub linking is done. Now I want to add these features to it. So let's go ahead and add those features. I'll just add something dummy underneath just so I can scroll properly. All right. So to add those features, just click feature 4 times. So feature, and then we want it all to be blue. Just click it and then click blue. All right, and then what do we want it to say? We say that our stack is Next.js. For this, we also use Solidity in this project. Let's go say Solidity. We use Sanity as a headless CMS. And then we also do authentication with MetaMask. So let's put that there. A crypto conversion app like Coinbase using Next.js, Solidity, Third Web SDK, Sanity as a headless CMS, authentication with MetaMask, and style components for styling. Now, if you want to go really far and add these logos, that would be really impressive for whoever's viewing your portfolio. But if you don't want to add that, just add at least the image of the app that you've built. That would be fairly impressive. So look, this looks so beautiful, right? You have the project, you have what the project does, you have the link to the repo, you have like key features that stand out. So I really love that about it. Now, the last thing we want to add is we want to add a button underneath it. Okay, and the button should say view demo. So we're going to go here, make it outline. We'll say view demo, and we want to link to the actual app itself. So I'll click here, I'll grab that URL for the actual app, and we'll paste that right here. Okay, and you could use your apps here. Okay, you don't need to use my apps here. You could use whatever you want, or just copy my links, at least for now, to make it work. Okay, and I'll hit save. Let's go back and take a look at our app outside of the editor mode, and let's just make sure that all the changes that we've added so far are actually showing up. So let's scroll down. Boom, I got my hero. I got my about me, my coding project. The image is taking a second, so we'll give it some rest. And then hopefully the image, once it's cached, it's probably quicker. Okay, so I don't know where the heck the image is, but everything else is showing up. So that's a really good sign. Boom, there we go. The image is showing up. Look at that. That looks beautiful. And now what we want to do is we want to have multiple projects. So we want to have a Medium style blogging app and a Facebook one. So I'm going to go back, and all we're going to do here is let's just duplicate this bad boy. So this is going to be very easy. Click that copy button. Okay, and that'll just duplicate the block. So duplicate the block and duplicate it one more time. So now you have 3 projects that you can show off. I like these to alternate. So let's go to image, and let's go image on the right. So project here on the left, image on the right on this one, and we'll leave the last one as it is. Perfect. So now they're alternating. So that looks really nice. Second project, we will call it Medium style blogging app. So let's go ahead, paste that there. I will grab the copy from a final version. A blogging app like Medium using Next.js, Solidity. Actually, we don't have Solidity in here. So I'll paste that in here, and we'll remove Solidity and Third Web SDK because we don't have that. And we also don't have Sanity for this, and we're not using styled components. Okay, so blogging app like Medium using Next.js and Tailwind CSS. Okay, let's just say that. I'll say Tailwind CSS, Next.js. And then are there any other like key features of that app? For now, they're not that many. So we can, oh yeah, there's authentication with Firebase, or we can say Firebase. So yeah, that's authentication and database with Firebase. Okay, so that's another key component. And we can actually say another key component is user authentication. All right, boom, there we go. Now, repo and the demo, make sure you link that properly. I will just leave this as is. And for image, go ahead and change the image. So we're going to go back to our repo, and we're going to get not the Coinbase one because we don't need that. We're done with that. We need the Medium one. So go ahead and download it. Let's go back here to our editor, click, and we're going to find Medium and click it, and then boom. All right. I didn't update the SEO. You can update the SEO as well. Medium app, and let's hit done. There we go. Okay. And if I want this repo to be working perfectly, then I want to copy this, make sure that I link it correctly. So paste, and then let's get the demo. Copy the demo link, go here, hover over it, paste, and hit save anyway, just so it saves. All right, and then the last one is a Web3 social media app on Solana blockchain. Okay, so basically building Facebook on Solana blockchain. So let's go ahead and write that. For the image, let's go ahead and download the Facebook image. So I'm going to download. Let's go to our app. Let's change this image, and we're going to go ahead and choose this Facebook one right here. Let's choose that Facebook, and we're going to say Facebook app. And look at the speed we're moving with, right? Doing this much front-end work would take you forever. Normally, this part of the tutorial has already taken us like 4 hours or 2 hours or 3 hours, and it's ridiculous. So front-end, get it done fast. Still slick. You can customize it more if you want to or need to. As a full stack developer, this is a dream honestly come true. Let's go ahead. Ignore my dog if you hear any barking. Okay, it's my baby bulldog. And there you go. It's a Facebook clone app built on Solana blockchain, leveraging the blockchain technology. You're able to create posts, authenticate the user based on their wallet, and post comments all on chain. Okay. Now for features, blockchain is definitely a feature we want to highlight. We want to highlight the fact that we're using Solana here, okay, /Rust. Okay, we're using Sanity as a headless CMS, so that's important. And then we also have Next.js. And yes, this does have authentication as well. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to grab the repo link. So I'm going to go here, pop in our repo link, and we'll also grab the demo link. It's a demo link. All right, let's go ahead, paste that there, and we'll say open a new window. So for all the demos, like all the links, make sure that they open in a new window, because you don't want your user to like go somewhere else. When they click it, they should just open everything up in a new window. They should still have access to your portfolio. Beautiful. So we're done with all of that. Now what else is left? We need to get to our experience part. Okay, so let's hit plus here. We're going to add in a horizontal rule. And then, oops, where did my horizontal rule go? So let's click this. Let's add in our horizontal rule. Okay, I don't know why it's not adding it. Okay, let's try adding in something else. Let's try adding in a hero unit, which we have here. So that's good. And we're going to remove the badge. We're going to remove all of this copy here. I'm going to remove the buttons. Okay, click the buttons and then click remove. And we're going to change the size of this tile size to medium. And here I'm simply just going to say, I'll try to make myself small so I'm not in the way of anything, but you can still hang out with me. So I'll put myself right there. All right. So we develop beautiful application. Instead of that, we're going to say my experience. All right. And there we go. Okay, that's it. So we're done with that section. Now let's add in, I'm going to add, again, leave a hero unit at the bottom so I can do stuff. And now all we need is a bunch of hero units actually. So watch this. I'm going to go here, choose a hero unit. And this is going to be really clean. So just replace that here with Best Buy. Okay. And I worked with the Geek Squad department to help with customer service and fulfill orders/refunds. You could write your own copy there, whatever your experience was. We don't need any call to action. So simply just remove them. And instead of this, we'll say the years we worked. So we'll just say 2018 to 2020, we worked at Best Buy. Boom. So we're done with that. Now let's duplicate that. Okay. And let's go maybe 20. Oh, the years are messed up there. Okay. I see. So we'll go 2019 for Best Buy then. We'll go 2019. For the next one, we'll go 2019 to 2021 or 2020 is fine. And we'll say Apple. Okay. And I worked with them to build out an Apple Music integration into HomePod Mini using their SDK. Perfect. Let's paste that over here. And then let's add one more hero unit. Oh, actually, don't do that. That's silly. Go ahead, duplicate this, and we'll go 2020 to 2022, or you could say present if you're still working there. Okay, so you could even put present there. And now we'll say Meta, right? Previously Facebook. So that's another company you're working at, let's just say. And we can make these medium if you want. So if you don't want them to be like massive, you can make them medium. And here I said I worked on designing and implementing the Oculus VR landing page. I optimized the performance using NextJS and Lighthouse. That increased the performance by 378%. So let's get that popping. Okay, let's just hit save. Beautiful. Now we need to add another divider. So let's add another horizontal rule. And after this, we need to add what clients say working with me. So let's add another hero unit. Let's remove this. We don't need this. Remove the buttons. Don't need that. Okay, and let's make this medium, and I'll copy this right here. We'll paste that. Boom. Okay, and here's what essentially the clients say. So now we're going to add a new section, and we'll click testimonial. Okay, and for testimonial, you can say whatever somebody said about you as a testimonial. Maybe it could even be a teacher that said something great about you. It could be a boss that said something great about you at a job that's not even developer related necessarily. Make sure you have testimonials because they're really going to help you land the job that you're actually looking for. I think it's a very key component. Don't miss out on them. Don't get lazy on this stuff. Put in the effort, make it look beautiful, work on it. It'll help you land the job. Once you get one job for $60, $70, $80, $90,000 a year, you're good. You're making progress. So here, instead of Matteo Frana or whatever it says, we'll say David Ricosi said this about me. Okay. And he's the CTO at, let's say, Clever Programmer. Okay. And now let's go ahead and get the Clever Programmer logo. Let's get David's face image. Let's change this. Go to downloads and put his face image. I'll zoom in so we can see his beautiful face and beautiful hair. and we'll say David, let's hit done. Okay, and then let's go here. We'll change this to be the Clever Programmer logo instead. EP logo, let's hit done. And there we go. Now let's go ahead and refresh this bad boy and take a look. Let's go down. We got our About Me section. We got our coding project showing up. If I click the GitHub repo, it does take me to the GitHub repo. If I go back, let's wait for the REPL to wake up, unless we killed it by mistake. All right, so those links work. My GitHub link works. Let's check the demo. The demo is up and running. Let's check the demo for our Medium app. That one looks to be also up and running. Let's check the demo for this. This is up and running. It's just that we made the Facebook clone so good that it thinks it's a phishing scam. It's not. You can just hit unsafe site and boom, you can go straight to it. Okay, so that's up and running. The GitHub repo link is good to go. My experience for everywhere we worked, and then what my clients say about me. Now at the end, let's just end it off with a nice little call to action, how we have here. So what you could do is you could actually scroll all the way down. We'll hit plus, and we'll finish it with, let's see, call to action. All right. And call to action, you can make it large, you can make it medium or small, whatever you want. We'll keep it small because small looks great. And let's paste that there. Want me building stuff for you? Hit me on LinkedIn. All right. Hit me on LinkedIn. And my LinkedIn, that's all we got to say right there. My LinkedIn. And then just make it sky blue, and we'll paste our LinkedIn link, and there you go. Okay. This is your brand new portfolio, and look at how fast we did it. Honestly, like that was lightning fast, right? If you go fully fast without even that much explanation, you could get this done in 20 minutes after watching this, or if you're doing this with me. And the whole thing is ready to go. If you want to customize it, you want to add your own flair to it, you want to add your own custom components, remember, you can go ahead and create. So first of all, you can mess around with components right here. So you can mess around with layout and everything right here. That's one thing. The second thing is in React bricks is where you're going to write most of your code, and you could play around with your units. So you could create a My Hero unit and add changes to it. So for example, if I change anything in this unit saying we are clever programmers, let's just say we say it. Now, if I go into our playground and we refresh that component that we have, custom hero unit, right? It says we are clever programmers. It brings that up. And if I go into our editor and we try to add in a new block and I hit custom hero unit, this is our custom hero unit that we have. So if I go back, okay, let's go here and let's delete it and let's refresh real quick. And then let's try again. So that was our custom hero unit, and you can make different changes to it as well. So let's go all the way down. Let's delete this. Let's add a new one, custom hero unit, right? It says we are clever programmers. So it proves that's the one that we added, right? Now on the right-hand side, you'll see that it says you can choose big padding or you could choose small padding. How's that happening? If I go back here, you can see that we have side edit props. So what are the props that you want on the side? We only have one, padding. That's it. And on padding, we say you could choose the value to be big or the value to be small, right? Padding big or small. What do you want? Default is big. Okay. So that's how we're choosing the styling. Okay. And then boom. If I remove that from if I remove that from there, or I could change the label to huge padding. Okay. Now, if we come refresh this and go back, right? Huge padding, small padding, huge padding. So you can clearly create your own components. You can clearly add them to your app, okay? And so if you keep creating your own components, you could keep adding your custom bricks here. So they have their website brick, right? That's a website brick. They have a blog brick. They have a hero unit. And then you could keep creating your own custom ones and just keep popping them in here. Keep popping them in here. All right. That's where we got the hero unit from, which is our hero unit. And then you could create your own custom components, keep popping them in, and then do whatever you want. So you can see that the power of it is really like infinite. Anyways, I'm blown away that this type of tool exists. I hope that you enjoyed watching this and building this out with me. got to get the set ready. And if you enjoyed it, make sure you smash the like button so this video goes out to as many developers as possible. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can learn more about different tips and techniques with JavaScript, Next, Web 2, Web 3, and take your journey to a whole another level. With that said, I love your beautiful face. And as always, I'm Kazi if you don't know me, and I'll see you in the next video. Now for the final step, we're gonna deploy this app. So let's get it popping. Let's go to our package.json right over here. Okay, package.json. And inside of here, we're gonna just add literally 2 lines of code. Inside of the scripts, put a comma here, and we're going to add in another script. And this script is gonna be for export. So we're gonna go ahead and go export, and we're gonna go ahead and say yarn run build and next export and then mv out static. So that's one thing that we need. The second thing that we actually need is, let's go here and we're gonna go ahead and do engines. So let's go ahead and do engines just like this. And then we're gonna say node, and let's go 14.x on that. Okay. And then put another comma. So make sure that you have engines and comma here like this. So these are really the 2-ish lines of code that we needed to write. And that's it on the coding end. All right, so now that we're actually ready to get this app deployed, all we actually need to do at this point is we need to just download this folder. So we're gonna go right over here, okay? You can click here and we'll just download as zip, the whole thing, all right? And let's open this bad boy up. We're gonna make this as simple as possible to deploy it, so there's not any confusing steps. Okay. All right, so there it is. We only need access to this folder right here, Portfolio YT app. We don't really care about anything else. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go into our GitHub and we're just gonna create a brand new repo. So let's hit new repo. And we're gonna say YT portfolio app. You could call it whatever you want. And then I'm simply gonna say create repository. Okay. And then all we wanna do here is upload an existing file, and we'll just drag and drop our folder here. Now, if it doesn't actually start putting it in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go ahead and delete node modules, because that ends up adding a lot of extra files. So remove that. And then let's go ahead and put it in. And now it should say, hey, uploading blah, blah, blah of 38 files or 37 files, however many files there are. And it should start downloading it, putting it in the repo. Okay. And so we'll say finish building portfolio app. All right, let's hit commit changes. And now it'll take a few minutes to process the files. So just be patient here, wait a little bit. And then once this is ready to go, we're literally one step away from making this entire thing work. Okay, so you can see there's a folder, Portfolio YT app. Okay, and when I click that, everything is inside of it. So there you go. Now let's go to DigitalOcean, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit create app. Okay, so if you weren't in there, just make sure you choose apps and then create app. We're gonna go to GitHub, okay, and make sure that you give it, if it asks for your permissions, just go ahead, log in with your GitHub, give it all the permissions that it needs. And then for source directory, let's try doing /portfolio YT app, or actually what was ours? Yeah, portfolio YT app. That's the directory, right? And it's inside of the branch main. Yes, it is. And then which repository is it? It's YT portfolio app. So it's actually a different one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit my permissions. And let's give it all repositories. Okay. So if you've done that already, then great. But I hadn't done that earlier. All right. So let's choose the repository, and that repository is called YT portfolio. There we go. All right. Let's put the folder name, and then let's hit next, and let's see if it figures out what it needs to figure out. Yes, it has. So that's really good. Now go ahead and hit next for resources. We're good on resources. For global, we're going to go ahead and hit edit. Okay. And we're just going to add in a couple of API keys here that are going to be helpful. All right, and this is because we need access to certain environment variables that know how to go into your React bricks and pull out the data. So let's go into our app. Let's go to v.local. And here you need access to your API key. So let's go copy the word API key. Let's go to DigitalOcean, paste that right there. Okay, let's hit another one right here. Let's copy next public ID. Let's go back to DigitalOcean and paste that right there. Okay, and then let's copy this entire thing, go back to DigitalOcean and paste it for the API key, and then copy this entire next public ID, go here and paste that. All right, now let's hit save. So now those two environment variables are saved. That's good. That's what we were looking for. Yep, that looks great. That looks great. Let's hit next. All right, and then just go down, hit edit plan. Okay, and you could pick the cheapest one. All right, so now if you're here on this page, let's not pick Pro because we don't need to pay $24 a month for this. We could have a pretty simple one, basic. This is not a static site, so we won't be able to choose a starter plan. But if you did, that would be free. We don't have that. We're gonna pick something really small, like the $5 a month one. Okay, so it's gonna be $5 a month, but you get to deploy your app, you get to see it, you get to share with everybody. And I think just that experience of knowing how to do it and even putting on your portfolio that you've deployed something with DigitalOcean, a lot of people and recruiters know DigitalOcean, so that'll actually give you a leg up. Okay, let's go ahead and review. All right, so now just hit back. Okay, so we've edited our plan. All right, and then we're just gonna go ahead and hit create resources. And then once it goes through, then our app is ready and then that app can be deployed. Okay, so it says it has been created and now it's gonna push the deployment and now it's building. So it's gonna go through the process and then once it's fully built and ready to go, you'll be able to go to it. And if you ever wanna just get rid of your entire app completely, you could always go at the bottom and you could destroy it. Okay, so you can hit that button, they'll destroy this DigitalOcean like app / container, and then you won't be ever charged for it or anything like that. Okay, but I still think it's worth a shot to do this and then be able to see your app once it's built. All right, if this is loading, don't worry about it, guys. It takes a little bit of time, so give it a couple of minutes. Go for a walk, relax, go for a jog, run a marathon, have a good time, and then you can come back. It'll still be there. It'll probably be almost done at that point. Okay, grab some tea, because the finishing touches. So we needed to take some time, build up that ritualistic experience. So when it's finally live, you feel this cathartic experience, right? Because it wouldn't be fun if it just got done fast. So relax, enjoy, go walk around and then come back and we'll be good to go. All right, so there we go. The deployment is done. Let's click it and let's see if our app is indeed live. So let's click that link right there. Let's go. And boom, look at that, you guys. Your app is up and running. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down over here. Beautiful, looks so slick. Here's the About Me section. If we click My GitHub, it should take you to the GitHub link. My coding projects, if we click the demo, should take us to the demo. Beautiful, my experience part is there, where I've worked previously, what the clients are saying, and then, hey, here's my LinkedIn, you should hit me up. So there you go. Your app is completely deployed. You've built it from scratch. You have a point and click editor built in with Next, TypeScript, server-side rendering, content management system, image optimization, mobile friendliness. Dear Lord, get any better. Now, with that said, I hope you've enjoyed building this application as much as I have had fun. I hope you had the same amount of fun. With that said, I love your beautiful face. This is Kazi, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.